All right, we are live. Hope everyone is doing well. My name is Ray Miller. I'm Associate Director of Brand Marketing here at GenScript. It's my honor and privilege to welcome everyone to our closing session of GenScript's fourth annual Gene and Cell Engineering Virtual Summit. I want to first off thank everyone in the audience for taking time not just to attend this session, but to attend all the previous sessions earlier in the day. We obviously continue every year to look forward to hosting this event. We think this is a great opportunity for a variety of key opinion leaders and scientists in the industry to give updates on what they and their teams are working on. We also see this as a great forum for networking, to get to connect with your peers all across the planet, and then also to get some opportunity to interact with us and our technical and sales folks. I want to especially give a thanks to all the speakers for their time. We couldn't do this without them and without all the speakers we've had in previous years. And so a very kind thanks for their time and their willingness to answer your questions. And last and not least, I also want to thank the GenScript and Labroots team. We put a lot of effort into this event every year. It's definitely a team effort. And again, we continue to feel honored to be able to have the opportunity to host this event and obviously look forward to hosting it in 2025 and beyond. So for the closing session, what I thought I would do is go ahead and hit on 4 topics at a high level, try to get all that done in about 20 minutes or so. So first, I want to talk about industry movements and milestones, just kind of do a recap of 2023. I wanted to look into my crystal ball a little bit and see what could be in the future in the later half of 2024 and beyond. I wanted to give you some brief updates from GenScript here, some news from us. And then an apology to a slight change in program. We'll be going ahead and just doing an overview of the prizes for the contest that we've been hosting throughout the event. So assuming that's good with everyone, I will go ahead and we will get into the first part. So 2023 was a fantastic year in the gene and cell therapeutic and engineering space. There are a lot of exciting new developments, new technologies that I think we're all part of. I think it's really humbling to see how far the industry has come. In 2023, depending on your definition of a gene and or cell therapeutic, there are approximately 2,000 programs in development within a pipeline. Not surprisingly, most of these programs are in a preclinical stage. Again, it's always challenging to go from an insight, from a candidate in the research environment and taking that into the clinic, and then obviously after proving safety and efficacy to patients to add value there to treat patients. But again, as we have more of these programs, as there are more therapeutics that are approved, as the industry continues to evolve, and then stakeholders from academia to industry, to regulatory and government, and then also to manufacturers like ourselves, work together, we can limit and overcome some of these challenges and obviously accelerate programs and then bring more therapeutics to market to add even again more value to patients. It's worth noting that the vast majority of programs in 2023 are, not surprisingly, oncology-based programs, so a variety of different immunotherapies, primarily CAR-Ts. Again, this is an ongoing and continuing industry trend. I think there's some exciting new developments. Obviously, the expansion beyond CD19 CARs and engagers to newer types of engagers and CARs. I think, as Dr. Moore already spoke to earlier today, the expansion away from just using T cells to different types of immune cells, including NK cells. I think this all portends pretty well to the future and the future treatment in the fight against cancer. And then hopefully overcoming some of the challenges, particularly around solid tumors and the infiltration of solid tumors by immunotherapies, by cell therapies. I think what's a really exciting trend, it's not just from 2023, but for years before, is the expansion of the number of programs focused on treating rare genetic diseases. Depending on how you splice the numbers, about half to 2/3 of all programs are oncology. There's this ever-increasing percentage of programs focused on rare genetic diseases. These diseases affect patient populations that tend to be very small, anywhere from tens, hundreds of patients, up to thousands of patients. And based on their sizes, these populations could be potentially underserved, not just in therapeutic approaches, but also in even diagnosis of their ailment, what they're suffering from. So I think it's really heartening to see the increase in these programs, and again, targeting these potentially underserved patient populations. So if we look at approvals in 2023, It was a robust year. Apologies, this is not a complete list of all the therapeutics that have been approved globally. This is just a partial list, but there are approximately 10 programs or therapeutics that have been proven in the clinic and by regulatory groups to be both safe and efficient for a variety of different ailments, both of course cancers and then also genetic disorders. I think a couple observations I wanted to make here is I think it's really heartening that there are so many different types of approaches for treating these diseases. Obviously, the delivery of transgenes is still one of the main ways that gene therapies are done, but there are newer non-viral approaches that are starting to come to the pipe. Obviously, cell engineering is still very strong in the oncology space, whether it's autologous or allogenic donors. But we're seeing newer approaches, for example, some RNA approaches. Wainua was approved in the middle of last year by developed by Ionis Pharmaceuticals and AstraZeneca. That is a antisense oligo-based therapeutic. So again, more tools, more ways to develop the next generation of therapeutics, which I think is exciting. A particular note, obviously, is the approval of Casgevy late last year to treat sickle cell anemia and thalassemia. And that's obviously the first cell therapy where the cells were completely engineered by CRISPR, Cas9. So it's obviously a really exciting development. Here at GenScript, we've been really interested in CRISPR gene editing technology for a long time. So it's really exciting to see it evolve from not just a research tool, but also a tool for the development of therapeutics, and who knows what the future will hold. It's not on this list, but I also wanted to shout out some of the new therapies that are also starting to come to market, treating other rare genetic disorders, neurological disorders, and then obviously metabolic disorders like type 1 diabetes. I think these, again, are all exciting new advances and are things to be happy about, and I think excited. And I think overall the market still continues to grow robustly, despite some obvious economic headwinds that exist. So in terms of forecasting, based on a variety of TED Talks and a lot of advice here, forecasting is somewhat of a thankless job, because if you get it right, people don't believe you got it right for the right reason or the right assumptions. If you get it wrong, people remember forever. But at the same time, it is fun and entertaining. And what I've listed here are just some of the things that excite me and some of my observations. Again, these are my own personal opinions here, and no one can predict the future. But again, it's fun to think what new and exciting things could be hitting us in the future, could be coming our way. So first, like I said previously, the gene and cell therapy market is still a really great market to be in. I think everyone should be proud to be part of that market. The growth rate will continue to be pretty high. If you were to force me to give a number, my estimate is about 18 to 20% compound annual growth for the next 3 years. That's still a very respectable number, especially given the fact that we're in a market that's obviously more than $10 billion each year. Obviously, I'm just guessing on a number, but if I was to guess based on the current clinical pipeline, how many potential gene and or cell therapies are going to be approved in 2024, I would speculate that we're looking at around 25 therapies. Obviously, that assumes that the clinical data is good and these therapeutics prove that they're both safe and effective. From a technology perspective, what I really find exciting are some of the newer tools that are coming. Some are extensions of existing tools, some are completely new. And I just wanted to highlight a few of these things. So for instance, obviously there's a lot of success in the use of CRISPR technology, as I alluded to, not just for screening, but now for cell engineering. I think there's a definite need for newer types of CRISPR-Cas9 technology that'll complement that technology and then older technologies. Base editing in particular seems pretty exciting as a potential all-in-one tool. There's a lot of cool development being done, a lot of optimization of nucleases and synthetic guides, just a lot of really cool stuff going on. I can easily see that taking off, again, probably as a complement to the existing CRISPR-Cas9 and Cas12a systems. Delivery has been a challenge, trying to get a therapeutic modality to a patient, into a patient, and in particular into the right cells. Obviously, we can see that virus-like particles are having a moment and have a lot of potential in the future to be, again, an alternative or complement to traditional viral-based approaches. LNPs, earlier we had some talks on LNPs, and there are a lot of exciting developments there. I think the developments around tissue specificity look pretty promising right now through the conjugation of ligands and antibodies to the surface of LNPs through optimizing formulation to try to get LNPs not just to go to the liver, but to go to other specific tissues and have more control over that and be able to do that reproducibly and then do that in a more customized manner. So I think there's a lot of exciting things there. There are a lot of exciting things with RNA conjugation to do similar things, but also to improve the stability of RNA. And so it's not degraded as rapidly. Something I don't list here, but I think something that's on everyone's mind is newer ways and newer mechanisms to try to spatially control expression. It's not just about getting the payloads to the right place, but also getting the express at the right time. And there are a lot of cool things going on in regards to modulating expression. And so I think these things are pretty fantastic and I think have a lot of promise in the future. And this is just a subset of just technologies that have caught my eye. There are many, many more exciting things that I see a glimmer on the horizon. There are a lot of great programs in the funnel right now. I obviously couldn't list all of those. And I just wanted to say, obviously, I think that the trend of newer engagers in cars and the use of multiple cars is going to continue, obviously, with the hope that, again, this will address some of the more challenging aspects of oncology. So as a shout out, for instance, Stanford has a CD22 targeting CAR T therapy program for patients that are suffering from beta cell lymphoma that showed impressive results, I think, at the beginning of this month as part of a clinical trial phase 1. And that's just one of many, 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 many different programs that are trying multiple approaches and different immune cell types to try to be able to address this. And obviously continuing to complement those approaches with checkpoint inhibitors. I think it's not just about new therapeutics, but obviously you're going to continue to see this expansion of existing therapeutics as these existing therapeutics are shown to be both safe and efficient for broader ranges of populations of patients to add continuing value. And then, as I alluded to earlier, I think we're going to see this really rapid expansion here in the gene therapy space, the types of diseases that patients suffer from that we can ultimately help to, as a collective community, help to treat and help to give relief to these patients. So overall, the real big takeaway I would give everyone here is to be excited. And I know everyone is excited about what's going on in this space. And I think we can continue to look for robust growth. And despite some macroeconomic headwinds, I think things are just going to be sky's the limit in 2025 and beyond. So on the GenScript front, just to introduce GenScript to everyone. So we are one of the world's largest CROs. We've been in business for more than 20 years. And the core part of our technology and kind of what we do is we offer customized life science reagents to researchers both in academia and industry, hospitals, and clinic. And it's based on a core technology platforms around DNA synthesis. We're obviously well known for our manufacture of plasmid DNA or genes. And again, we've been doing this for more than 20 years, and we've been privileged to serve over 20,000 customers in 100 countries with multiple sites worldwide for both manufacturing, sales and support, for technical support, and of course for research and development. Overall, we have a wide range of platforms, not just gene synthesis, but also our recombinant protein expression platforms, packaging, peptide synthesis, CRISPR nucleic acids, mRNA, and on. So you name it, we probably do it. And again, we're very proud of that and very privileged to be able to serve you and to serve your programs and your science and hopefully add value to your business. As Sherry alluded to at the very beginning of today's talks, we've been rapidly expanding our manufacturing globally. I don't have time to talk about all those investments. I just wanted to focus on 3 investments in particular. We have recently, over the last 2 years, been expanding our manufacturing in Singapore. And this is primarily our recombinant protein expression and recombinant antibody expression manufacturing site. So this will continue to expand to eventually become our primary site. So very, very exciting. And that'll allow us to continue to be a reliable supplier and to improve and accelerate our turnaround times. At the same time, in the US, We have expansion of our Seattle site, Seattle, Washington. This is our RNA Innovation Center. And this center is both where we manufacture most of our RNA globally. It's also where we do a lot of our research and development, and we're bringing new services to the market. So it's not just about selling our core services, but also improving on that and to build new things. So for instance, I want to give a shout out to the team in Seattle for developing circular RNA, and then also in conjunction with other partners globally, our self-amplifying RNA services, and then also some of our newer LNP services, and a lot more that I unfortunately cannot talk about because it has not been commercially released. Last but not least, I wanted to highlight our site in Piscataway, New Jersey. For those of you that are not from the Northeast, not from the tri-state area, Piscataway, New Jersey is to the south and west of New York City. It's about 45 minutes from New York City, or 2 hours depending on traffic. This site is one of our major gene synthesis sites. This is where we manufacture de novo circular DNA, so plasmid DNA, and we do a scale up of genes, and we're adding and continuing to add more capabilities at this site. So these are just some of the enhancements and improvements that we're making. I wanted to speak to another one in particular. So we are working not just to supply and to manufacture materials for research use only, but also materials according to cGMP, so GMP, cGMP material. In particular, CRISPR nucleic acids are being now manufactured according to cGMPs, specifically synthetic guides and also payloads, so donor DNA templates, and now even nucleases. And we have new and exciting things that are coming a little bit later on in the year and subsequent years. We're privileged to have had our GMP materials being used by different organizations, by biopharma companies, as part of 8 IND applications. And so we're very proud about that. And obviously, as our business grows, we want to continue to grow with your business and want to continue to find ways to serve you. And so again, a kind thanks to everyone in the audience that is currently partnering with GenScript. And for those that are not partnering with GenScript, we look forward to any opportunities to work with you in any ways that we can serve and help your business. So with that, I'm going to go to the last part here, which is just to tell you about the prizes for today's contest. Apologies, we had a small technical snafu a little earlier today. We will be following up in the next day or two with the winners of today's contest. So we decided to give prizes to the top 40 winners this year. And for the highest scoring winner today, we will be giving a drone. For the second highest score participant, we'll be giving an iPad. For the third highest, we'll be giving AirPods, always useful in conference calls. And then for the top 4 to 40 scores, we will be giving a mystery box of, hate to use the term, swag, GenScript branded swag, that we hope will add some color and joy into your life. In particular, I'd highlight the GenScript Beanie Babies, which are always extremely popular. And yes, we are open to taking suggestions on what type of animals you might want us to make a Beanie Baby for and to brand from GenScript. So shout out to our regional marketing partners for that. So apologies for ending a little bit early. Again, I want to thank you and the audience for your time today at this session and all previous sessions. I want to thank all the speakers for their time as well. Again, without their support, without everyone's support, we couldn't make this event happen. And so if you missed any of today's sessions, don't worry. We'll be sending a follow-up email, and the presentations will be on demand. We'll connect you to that. In the meantime, feel free to go ahead and to browse the auditorium. Feel free to ask any questions as we close up. And if there's nothing else, thank you for your time, and take care. Bye-bye.